Welcome to the Stokecast, where each week we bring you an inspiring athlete, adventurer, or entrepreneur and dig into their stories and strategies for balancing work, life, and adventure while having fun and making a difference. I'm Jonathan Ronzio.
And I'm Emily Holland. Thanks for joining us today.
Let's get to it.
So when you say let's get to it, now we're talking about why we're getting into it.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing? It's called the Stokecast. Can you define Stoke?
It's a feeling of a lot of excitement over what you're doing.
Total just...
Overjoy. I don't want to say overstoker because I hate that word, but...
You can't use the word in the definition of the word. That's rule number one of how to define things.
So what we've learned on the podcast so far is that I don't understand how to define words. But, so Stoke is a feeling you have when you do something that is so fulfilling to you that you feel like all of your body is like lighting up and illuminating in the world. And you feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be at exactly the right time. And I'm so overjoyed to be in this situation.
Energetic, in the moment euphoria.
Yeah. Would you agree with that statement?
I agree.
All right.
So that sets the tone for what the Stokecast is. I think we talked about the types of people that we're going to be interviewing in our intro there, which you got to preview before we really get into this, because our task right now is to just do like a prelude, right? This is the prologue to the Stokecast. This is where we just kind of explain who we are, why we're doing this. Mm-hmm. So who are you? Let's get people up to date on who Emily is.
I'm Emily Holland. I have known you for like 2 years now, but I kind of categorize myself as a weekend warrior right now because I do have a 9 to 5, but I'm just psyched on all the things outdoors like a lot of people are. I'm a climber, I'm a runner, I'm a hiker, I'm a trail runner, but I grew up, like my parents, we didn't go to Disney World that much. We went camping. We grew up in the outdoors, so I was taught from an early age to really love that and make that a part of my life. And so I'm really excited to talk to our guests about why they want to go outdoors and what they want to fight for the outdoors, and how it all comes together in a really balanced way.
See, I'm the complete opposite.
I knew you were going to say that.
Totally. Yeah. I went to Disney growing up. Yeah. I had those family vacations.
Mickey Mouse, yes.
Yeah, totally. All about it. Actually, I'm more about Universal these days. They got more rides.
Okay.
But,
excuse me.
But no, so for me, like I didn't start getting into the outdoors until really college. Like I never went to camp. I never went hiking as a kid. I went camping once, but no, the outdoors were not a big part of my life, though I was always drawn to them. I can specifically remember when we were living in Franklin, Mass, and I was a kid, I was probably in 3rd grade, and the house next door was an empty lot. I loved to climb around on the rocks and the trees, and then they started developing that lot. They were building a house, and there was this massive, massive boulder that I loved. And when they were going to go and fill the dirt and pave the cement of the driveway over that boulder, before school, actually, at like 6:30 in the morning, as a 3rd grader, I went and stood on that boulder and in protest.
It was your first feeling of Stoke.
Yeah, I protested the paving over of that boulder.
Yeah.
And as long as I could, and then the bus came and I had to go to school. And I got back from school and there was a driveway. So I lost that battle.
Wow, that's like paved parking lots.
Totally.
Oh, no.
I know.
That's so sad.
Lost that battle.
But good memory overall.
Thank you. Yeah,
learning to love.
But yeah, I was always drawn to the outdoors and always wanted to have it be a part of my life. And that didn't come until later.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when I think of Stoke, you're like one of the people I think of. So I'm excited to do this with you so that we can talk to these people, but kind of ask them varying questions, because my questions are more about like, how did you even start on this journey, and how are you excited to go out there and get motivated every day? And I think yours are going to be a little bit more about the balance part of it, right?
Yeah, both the balance and the details. Like I'm interested in the technicality of the adventures and and the nitty gritty of what it took to pull it off, and what they were inspired to do or why they were inspired to do it. But for sure, I'm really drawn to exploring, how you can have both that life and that level of adventure with a family, with friends, with a home life, with your dogs, with other work that you do, because not everybody can be a professional adventurer or athlete, and so exploring how people do find that line, that balance between their life, their adventures, their work, their family, their friends, their relationships, whatever. Like I want to dig into that.
Yeah. Should I dare say it? I'm stoked.
Are you stoked?
Yes, I'm so stoked.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for the people that we have. No spoilers yet. I'm excited to ask them tons of questions about the lessons that they learned along the way, and their journey overall. And a lot of them are doing, really great things for the environment and for the world. And we're excited to hear about how they got started in that, like how it translates into doing a little more philanthropy. I can never say that word. Philanthropy work, or activism out in the world too. So I'm excited to hear about how they got into that world.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that's my background in the adventure space. I realized I talked about my childhood of protesting rocks, but I didn't really explain who I was. But my background is in the adventure philanthropy world because in 2012, 2013, a couple buddies and I had gone and done this big expedition called Between the Peaks, and we made this film about us climbing and volunteering all through South and Central America, and put that film out, and that really became the foundation for what I would do with my career. Starting Explore Inspired and running that blog and the expeditions that have come of it, and all the content. So basically my life is just that. It's the adventures and the athletics and creating content and working with brands to tell stories and helping brands build content strategies. And so it's kind of like the marketing meets the environmentalism meets the adventure and the media, right? So that is my background.
Perfect. So I think that each of the people that we have on, and you and I, obviously, but they're going to be people that we want to grab a beer with. We want to go on adventures with. They're going to be people that had a very similar starting point to us, or they're going to be people that maybe were thrown into it randomly. And I think that there's definitely lessons to learn from each person that we talk to. But along the way, too, I think it'll be great reflection for us to really understand why we're doing what we're doing and why we want to go outdoors, and how to really think about the bigger picture. So I'm really excited to get this going.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think the Stokecast is about how we can all get each other stoked on each other's pursuits, right? It's how can we inspire each other? And I think that any of the people that we're going to be talking to are going to, we'll walk away from every interview either wanting to go climb a mountain or run an ultra marathon or start a business or go, stand on Capitol Hill. I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be a matter of motivation and inspiring action through amazing individuals and hearing their stories.
Yeah. What are you most excited about right now in your life? Wow. Is it the Stokecast?
I mean, at this very moment, recording right now, I'm pretty damn stoked on the Stokecast.
Not the right answer.
No, there's a lot that I'm excited about in my life right now. My wife and I just got back from an amazing cross-country road trip, and I've been working on a software startup with my brother called Trainual, and now we're starting this podcast through Explore Inspired, and in addition to that, I'm doing the new Explore Inspired weekly show, and have next weekend I'm going to be climbing Mount Shasta with a couple buddies, and
casual.
It's just it's nonstop, and there's things happening in a lot of different aspects of my life, and that is what I love, and that's something that I think we're going to explore through these interviews and through this show is how you can you don't have to narrow your focus necessarily. You don't have to do just one thing. And that's perpetual for me is I just want to have every career, I want to be a musician and an artist and an athlete and an entrepreneur and I want to do it all. And so far I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing it pretty successfully so far. So that's great.
What about you? What are you most stoked about outside of the podcast here?
So I'm pretty stoked about getting back outdoors. Obviously, we live in the Northeast, and getting outdoors in the winter is fun if you're a hiker, skier. But to a certain degree, this year it got like a slog at the end. It was just too much winter, too much like sad gray. So I'm excited to get outdoors and do some climbing this summer. We're going to be finishing the high peaks in New Hampshire as well. So I'm really excited to do that.
You're going to finish it?
Yeah, we're going to finish it for sure.
How many?
We're so close. Well, we still have to do like 20, but it's like the Prezzies and the Pemmy, and we're going to just knock it out.
Awesome.
And so I'm pretty excited. I'm going with a group of girls, I think, in June to run the Prezzies in one day. I'm pretty excited about that. But overall, I just have a couple of goals with climbing and with running and with trail running, road running and trail running that I want to accomplish by the end of the year. So I'm just tracking on those, and I have like this huge whiteboard in my room, and I keep looking at it every day, and I'm like, I am tracking towards those. I will get to those, and it'll be great. So I'm just kind of like in the zone of putting in the work so that I can, at the end of the year, really knock those out and just like have the satisfaction of crossing them out on my whiteboard.
I love that you're whiteboarding it, that you're actually writing it down and you're checking it off. Like that is how you make progress. Serious. That's how you create daily momentum.
It really is like the visualization of seeing them up on the board every day. It's like I can't forget about it. It's not something I scribbled down on a notepad or something at the beginning of the year when I wanted to do resolutions. It's something that I actually am tracking towards, and every month I'm kind of like checking in with myself and being like, okay, well, how am I going to get to that next? How am I going to get there? How am I going to make it happen? So pretty excited about like putting in the work right now.
Well, I think that this is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to talk to all of our guests. I'm not going to spoil anything right now, but we have some really amazing people locked in for interviews for the coming months, and it's going to be great. So stay tuned for the Stokecast.
Yeah, thanks so much, and we'll be back with you soon.
What happened there?
Let's go to the end of my...
You're just spent, just blanked out.
We'll be
back with you soon.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Emily Holland.
And I'm Jonathan Ronzio. We'll catch you next week with another episode of the Stokecast.